matter.
Okay.
Addressing your name, and then it's one of their staff that oversee the adult protection services.
Uh-huh.
And I looked them in, so you can provide your, input directly to them as well, since, they are, pushing that program. Did you get the email, or
No, like I said, I didn't. Um,
it's so your email is like also charlie@yahoo.com?
yes.
Okay, I'll forward it to you now. Can you please check again?
Yeah, the email is actually that's not as important because that's still what's still the whole purpose of this phone call is to establish what you as a representative of Aaron Peskin's office understands or believe to be appropriate or not as far as the behaviors of various elected officials and staff of San Francisco. So that email, while it's relevant, is not necessarily relevant to this phone call because that's still what's kind of missing.
Yes, no, I just wanted to check in with you to see if you received the email, because sometimes, Outlook doesn't go through.
Yeah, no, I see it right now. I see that yours, Sarah Souza, and then it says you're looping in Achilles, Serran. Um, so yeah, like I said, that is still the secondary step because what is still missing is that it hasn't been established by you or anyone else what is appropriate behavior for employees or officials of San Francisco to do concerning mental health services.
Yes. So, did you send the email? I didn't get an email from you.
No, Sarah. Again, I don't know how many times I need to keep repeating myself on this.
Okay.
What is missing currently, and is the base that needs to be established, is it is unknown what you, as a representative of Aaron Peskin's office, believe is appropriate or not for the staff and elected officials of San Francisco to do when concerning mental health. Do you understand that?
I understand that, sir.
So that's kind of what we're missing right now.
Yes. So, what's, appropriate is that, once we have the information, the specific information relating to the department that you mentioned, um,
Yeah, no, Sarah. Again, so is a general question.
we
So
can contact the department directly.
yes, Sarah. Again, you're not
Um,
understanding. It's a general question. So what
yes,
has
I'm trying
happened,
to answer your
Sarah?
general
Again,
question.
please, would you listen so that you're able to actually do something? Again, what has happened is now various staff and elected officials, including your office, have made recommendations for health services, but have not clarified why they believe those services are appropriate, or and have not provided any actual resources as to where those services they believe are needed can be found. Do you understand that?
I understand that, sir, but it makes it very challenging when you don't mention which services you don't
Again,
specify.
Sarah, this is very clear. I am saying it to you as clearly as I possibly can. It is various agencies. That is a secondary step. But first, what has still not been established is whether or not your office believes it is appropriate for elected officials and staff of San Francisco to suggest and or recommend services that they then cannot justify why they believe those services would be needed and or where they can find those services. Do you believe that is appropriate or not?
So, and just a clarification. So, are you asking for all the mental health services,
Yes,
or for all?
for anyone in general, Sarah. Again, it is for any employee or elected official in San Francisco on an official basis, and as in part of their job, they are recommending services to citizens, but then do not justify why they believe those services are appropriate and or where they can find those services. Do you believe that is appropriate for any employee or elected official in San Francisco to suggest a citizen should have services rendered but not be able to explain why they believe those services should be rendered and or where they can find those services?
So yes, so they should be able to explain, right, the services and where to get them.
Okay, so that's basically it. Right now, what has happened is many various people have not. Um,
Okay.
and so, what I can do, the reason why you had not received an email previously is because I would be kind of just shooting into the dark if what you believe is it would be appropriate for them to suggest services and not either provide them or be able to explain why they believe that. So, do you understand why I had not written my email
Yes,
previously?
yes, I understand, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I'm trying my best just to work with you and help you as much as I can.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and that again, that's why I was just trying to establish something so that we can kind of move forward.
Okay.
So, like I said, I will write the email and get that to you. Hopefully, by the end of the day tomorrow, if not by Monday, because I understand that um, the secondary parts would take a little bit more time, both for myself and you, in order to make sure that it doesn't go into tangents and it just kind of stays into what it is, which is right now there have been various officials, including your office previously, that have suggested services, but then have not basically have just ghosted and or have not replied as to why they believe those services are appropriate or where they could find those services. So with you understanding that that's what's happened and stating that that's not appropriate, then I can properly kind of write the email, making sure I stick to that particular issue.
So when you alluded to that you reached out to our office, what was regarding to and when
It
was
was
it?
it was regarding the exact same thing. So it's the exact same issue that has happened now for years, and has only gotten worse. As you can imagine, it's the whole basis of it is if you believe services are needed, then obviously that would require some amount of action from the city's part and or those employees. But what has happened is they have suggested and or stated that services are needed repeatedly, but have not been able to justify either why those services are needed, which makes it difficult to get those services on your own, as well as not been able to provide information as to which city agencies would be appropriate in order to find those services. So I know it's confusing, but that's what's happened, and that's what makes it difficult to explain it, because obviously that has secondary kind of repercussions. But the main basis of it is there are now been multiple employees, as well as your office, who have suggested services, but have not been able to justify why they believe those services would be appropriate or necessary, and therefore the services were never rendered, and therefore the exact same problem still resurfaces.
Okay. So I mean, so who suggested the services from our
I,
office?
Sarah, this is what I'm saying. I don't know how many times I had to repeat myself. It is various people. I can now knowing that it is established between me and you that there is an understanding that they have acted inappropriately, then I can provide the examples and evidence and everything else of the various people. But
So I mean, I did not, confirm that, they act inappropriately because
again, Sarah,
I don't know which
again,
one
Sarah,
you're
if you're
referring
not
to. I'm sorry.
understanding, obviously you cannot because you are unaware, just like I was unaware as to whether or not you felt it was appropriate or not. So that's what the process of conducting an investigation and finding a resolution involves. It involves you obviously having an understanding that currently you can't confirm anything, and the entire purpose of this phone call is to enable you to be able to confirm that. But in order to be able to confirm that, we would first have to establish what you believe is appropriate or not, and that's where we're at. You have just established what you believe is appropriate or not, and I am able to provide you the evidence that some people have acted inappropriately.
did not confirm anything, so I
Again, Sarah, no one, again, Sarah, this is for your own sanity so that you could understand the way kind of just logic and reality
yes,
works.
yes,
Everybody understands, you, and anyone who would listen to this phone call very much understands that you would have to be crazy yourself for you to believe that you confirmed anything. So it's very odd for you to feel a need to state that you haven't confirmed anything in a phone call that is literally the basis of understanding that you don't have the ability to confirm anything until I provide that for you.
okay, sir. If you can provide, the information that's appropriate for the service you need, you
Yeah,
have
it's not
the
about the
email
service that I need. Again, Sarah,
or the
you're not
information
thinking of
that you
things
need.
clearly. I am providing information and evidence for the fact that you and I both have agreed that people have acted inappropriately. There's no
Okay,
services involved. There's nothing else. What is
okay,
only happening so that we can have a basis, since you represent Aaron
understood.
Peskin's office, you are representing the constituents of the district I live in. And I can tell you, most of us can understand the fact that at this point in time, you have not confirmed anything. And what is actually happening is you are in the process of investigating and receiving evidence that what you have agreed is inappropriate behavior has occurred. Nothing else has happened. No one is putting words in your mouth, but you are putting words that are not realistic as to the current situation. Do you
All
understand
right,
that?
thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. So if you want to send the email, please go ahead. I do have to get back to other
Yeah, like I
customers.
said, it will either be by the end of the day
Thank you.
today, tomorrow or Monday. Thank you.
All right, you have clarified that. Thank you so much. All
Okay,
right,
bye.
bye.